Hey all, it's Linda. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be ranking the last 11 palettes I tried. Now, 11 might seem like a weird number. I usually try to do ranking the last 10 palettes I've tried, but in my last ranking, I totally forgot to include a palette that had come out during that time. So today we are ranking the last 11 palettes, but that's not the only reason that this is just a little bit of a strange ranking. I'm going to tell you right now that 6 out of these 11 palettes are by Nomad. Nomad has come out with so many palettes this year, and they are all freaking bangers. So I want to include them in a ranking, of course, but like I don't want this to just be a Nomad ranking, but they are within the last 11 palettes I chose. One of the palettes, the palette that I just told you about that I forgot in my last ranking, is Nomad. So yeah, more than 50% of these are Nomad palettes, but I do have a little bit of a juicy selection here in front of me. I'm really excited to talk about these. Now, the way that I kind of rank things in my own head is looking at a palette and saying, does this fill a hole in my collection? Like, is this unique to my collection? Or is it something that just really brings me joy? Or maybe it's a quality upgrade? Those are the things I look at. I don't necessarily just look at, this is my favorite palette that I want to use every single day, because a lot of these are not, for me, everyday palettes. These are like super special and unique palettes. And again, ones that maybe fill a hole in my collection. So we're going to get into it. Are these all indie palettes though? Oh, these are all indie palettes. And I will also say, none of the palettes here did I dislike, not a single one. So even number 11, I really enjoyed it and likely will not be decluttering it at the end of the year. It's just that we have to rank them somehow. So let's go ahead and get started with number 11. With number 11, like, I have so much trouble ranking these because I genuinely do like all of these, but just rating it on the things that I talked about here is the Nomad Beachy, or Keys Beachy and Peachy palette. It is so freaking much fun. The quality is so good on here. Like, tell me that this is not like a tropical beachy dream. The reason that I rated it a little bit lower than the others is because a lot of these are more, I don't want to say that they're pastel because they're not. They're slightly more muted, right? Like, I would say a bunch of these colors that you can see over here are muted, and they're not quite like as vibrant as I usually like to play with. These are fantastic for creating multiple kinds of looks, and I really like playing with this. I've played with this a bunch since I've gotten it, but I think that it's just one I'm not going to wind up playing with as often. So this is going to be at number 11, but damn, it does not mean that I don't love it, because look at her. Look at her. At number 10, we have the Nomad Air. This is the Canadian Rockies palette. It is so pretty. You guys know I love green shades. The reason that I ranked this one a little bit lower is just because, like, it's pretty, but I feel like with a lot of these 6 pans, there's not as many looks as you can do. So I don't reach for these as often, but I still think it's so pretty. Like, I love this color combo. This color right here, I've said it before, is such a unique, I do have no other colors like this in my entire collection. This color is Moose Crossing, and it is a very light sage green, like matte sage green. It is such a cool color. I love the way they put these together. I've used this several times. But yeah, the Nomad Canadian Rockies is number 10. At number 9, and I had a hard time switching between 10 and 9, is the Nomad Oslo palette. Now, this is your neutral dream, your neutral cool tone dream, because you've got these cool tone browns, but you've got these like silvery shimmers that are such amazing quality. Like, the metallicness and how beautiful they are, just so gorgeous. This is classic Nomad quality. You guys know I freaking love Nomad. This one's just a little bit lower because it is completely neutral, and I do have a lot of neutrals. So I really do enjoy these kind of palettes though, for like on-the-go looks, for traveling, literally for traveling. So this is really pretty. This is probably something I will take traveling with me. But when I look at it amongst the 11 palettes that I've tried recently and look at the ones that really excite me and bring me the most joy, this one's ranked a little bit lower, but I'm never getting rid of this because it's a perfect little neutral buddy. The next one that we have, oh, I think this is where it started getting like really hard for me. So this palette is, oh God, it's just so dreamy. This is the Fantasy Cosmetica Cradled in Ice palette. And this surprised the hell out of me when I tried it. I remember looking at this and going like, oh, that looks muted and there's a lot of like pinks and mauves and it's just not my vibe. And then I tried it and I fell in love. When I got this, I don't think I stopped using this for like a week and a half. Like every time I did my makeup, I wanted to reach for this palette. It is so beautiful. The quality is like chef's kiss perfection. These shimmers are like, look at this, look at like the shiftiness and how metallic these are. Like that looks fake. That looks like a sticker on my hand, but nope, 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 just Fantasy Cosmetica, and it's not wiping off because the quality is so good. So now we're just gonna be super sparkly, but this palette is so gorgeous. And I feel like I didn't hear this one get enough love out in the internet world. It is so, so pretty. These look like pressed glitters, but they are just the most metallic. I really enjoyed playing with this one. At number 8, we have the final Nomad Air palette. This is Abu Dhabi, and I love a warm toned moment, like a really warm toned moment. I'm not talking about some Natasha Denona, I need a warm, slightly more warm than beige kind of color. I'm talking about fiery oranges and bronzes and reds. Like I love warm tones, and this to me is the perfect travel warm tone palette. It is so beautiful. If you have blue eyes, like what are you waiting for? This is by far, out of the 3 Nomad Air palettes that came out, this is definitely my favorite. I think that this is a color story all in one, or you can make your own little color stories. I've done completely matte looks with just these two, well, I'm sorry, with these 3 right here for work, and it's looked great, but then I've made a super smoky eye with the whole thing. I love it. This is so dreamy. Like, look at it. I want to put this on my face right now. I really do. At number 7 is the What's Up Beauty Dragon Eye palette. Look at it. I mean, we have multi-chromes, we have duochromes, we have foils, we have creamy mattes. This palette is so beautiful and very much went way over my expectations for it. I really, really enjoyed playing with this. Like the duochromes are so shifty. Like look at that. They're so incredibly shifty for the price point. This is really, really fantastic. I believe it's $45. By the way, if I have codes for any of these, I have codes for quite a few of them. Everything's gonna be listed down below and you can get yourself a discount on any of these, but this palette in particular is so lovely. The only reason that I rated it like kind of midway, I guess we're midway right now, is because I only just used this for the first time like 3 days ago. So I haven't had a chance to fully play with it, but everything that I've used it for so far is fantastic. I think I would rate this a little bit higher if one of these mattes was super deep and rich and dark. I feel like we don't have any dark mattes in here. This right here is the darkest, and that's only like a mid-tone purple. So I wish that there was something much darker in here, but the sparkles in this are unparalleled. Like some of the best sparkles I've ever tried. So yeah, this is sitting at that spot. I said that spot because I can't remember what number I was even on. 7, number 7. At number 6, we have the palette that I somehow left out of the last ranking, and that is the Nomad New Zealand Stargazing. This is one of my favorite palettes of theirs. I love this one so much. I say that, but we still have some Nomad ranked a little bit higher. But anyway, this really is one of my favorites of theirs because this is a Nebula Galaxy dream in a palette for me, okay? I feel like other brands have tried to do that whole Nebula Galaxy thing, and it just hasn't hit the mark for me. This one hit the mark for me because you have those shifty colors, like this one at the bottom that goes, there you go, it goes from green to purple to like a silvery color is stunning. And then you've got these like rich tones. Like these are the colors that I guess I wish were in the Dragon's Eye palette, these like deep tones here, but you do have those mid tones you can blend with. You've got light tones to blend out with. This palette has everything for me and it is so gorgeous. Oh my God, I need to play with this one like right now. So at number 6, right? It should stay at number, yes, it's gonna stay at number 6, New Zealand Stargazing. Ooh, it is getting hot in this room, and hey, look at that segue to number 5. So my number 5 palette is the Unearthly High Temp palette. Literally though, it is, what time is it? It is 7:40 a.m. and it is already 85 degrees out. It has been so hot. I am just like sweating through all of my clothings, but this high temp palette, is fire, like literal fire, because the colors are so good. So we do have 8 mattes and we have 4 shimmers, but these mattes are so incredibly pigmented and blend so well together. I feel like a lot of companies can't do mattes right, where they don't blend together or they just have lots of fallout. Unearthly does mattes so well. I feel like that's something that's very underrated, because shimmers, obviously, like, they have them locked down. They are sparkly, they are metallic, they are duochromes, they are multichromes. But the mattes in this palette, I feel like, are the standouts. I have done so many all matte looks with this palette and loved it. And again, we have these like deep, bold shades over here, but you do have plenty of midtones and lighter tones. And then these shimmers are all so different from each other, which I really appreciate. There's no dupes in this palette, and it's still super fiery. I love this. I want to play with this one more. See, that's the only issue with having a lot of makeup. I love makeup. I love having a collection. But every time I do one of these, I'm like, I want to play with these more. I just want to play with them, because that's what makeup is to me. It's just like playtime, fun time. Look at this dream. This is so gorgeous. So this ranks at number 4. We are in the top 3. I am super excited because all 3 of these palettes I'm actually like obsessed with. I think they're beautiful. I had such a hard time with the top 3 especially, and I shuffled them back and forth so many times. But at number 3, we have the Nomad Fuji 5 Lakes palette. This is such an elevated color story to me, because you could easily, first of all, it's a fall palette, right? You could easily do browns and bronzes and, you know, reds and yellows and make it that fall color story. They took fall and reimagined it with this palette, bringing in those icy blues of the Fuji 5 Lakes, bringing in these like pale yellows to represent the sun and also the flowers in the area. Like, it's so beautiful, and I love how it all works together so well. Now, I only just received this palette and have played with it like twice at this point, and I just really, really enjoy it. The color story makes me very happy. This color right here I keep talking about is Mount Fuji. Whoops, I'm not even pointing to it. Mount Fuji, which is this icy pale pastel blue. It is so dreamy. And it's so funny because I feel like other influencers who I've talked to about this palette, we all gravitate towards this color, which I feel like might seem like the boring color, but we're all like, did you see that icy pastel blue in the center? Yes, I have, and yes, I want to lick it. It is fantastic. The shimmers obviously are Nomad quality. They are beautiful. But that color, like, pay attention. Don't pass her by. So at number 3, we have Fuji 5 Lakes. I don't know why I just did this like circular motion. I feel like Rachel Palmieri right there, because she does these great transitions of like, boom, 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 boom. Make sure you're following Rachel. These two. Okay, so I said I switched around the top 3 a lot, but these two, I literally put them down and then went, no, and I swapped them. And then went, no, and I swapped them again. And I kept swapping them, and finally I just had to stop. Okay, at number 2, ooh, I'm debating myself even now. No, we're going to stick with it. We have the Wicked Widow Crow palette. Guys, this might wind up being one of my favorite palettes of the entire year. Because it's so fucking good. I'm sorry, this deserves the fuck word, okay? It is so fucking good because you have these midtones, you have plenty of sparkles, you have these pops of fiery red, you have the deep blacks, you have several versions of deep black and charcoal, but they are different from one another. I love this palette. I think they knocked it out of the damn park. I love the size of the pans. I love the quality. I love the names. Everything about this speaks to me on a visceral level. And I have used this several times, and this is like one of my go-to kind of like goth palettes at this point. This is like goth makeup dream right here. This is your smoky eye dream. If you are somebody who is more experimental with makeup, if you really like playing, if you like trying new things, and you like going a little bit out of the box, please make sure this palette is in your collection, okay? I don't know if my code is still valid for this one. If it is, I will put it down below. I don't think it is, but either way, whether it's full price, whether you have a discount, this palette is so worth every damn penny, and it is absolutely one of my favorites right now. So this is number 2. For our number one palette, what's funny is that the Dragon's Eye palette, I said one of the reasons it was lower on the list is because I've only gotten to try it like once, and that was in the video. I tried this palette in the same exact video, but I can't put it down. It is the Cleona Paleo palette. This palette, y'all, like, oh my gosh, this is so good. This color story is starting to inch up there with one of my favorite palettes of all time. It is inching right up there. We have some grungy tones. We have some bright pops of blues and purples. We have some duochromes. We have everything I want in a palette, but what takes it to that next level for me, the reason that I posted this as number one is the quality. I am going to go out on a limb and say that this might be the highest quality palette that I own. I used to give that designation straight to like Natasha Denona. I think it's this Cleona palette at this point. It is so smooth. Every color works so well with one another. The mattes work with the shimmers. The mattes work with the mattes. The shimmers work with the shimmers. It is a dream to work with. It is easy to work with, but like, it's one of those things where you touch something and you don't quite expect the quality. I just went across that once, and this shimmer, I still have shimmer on my hand. I'll put it here on my wrist. But like, the quality of how smooth these are and how metallic they are, how they catch the light is unlike anything I have or anything that maybe I've ever tried. And I've tried a lot of palettes. This is so beautiful. And again, this shade right here, which is Pangea, is going to be gone. I will use that color up until it is gone because that is the perfect grungy, dirty mustard brown. I'm in love with this palette. I don't have any other words. I am in love with it. So the Paleo by Cleona is number one. So that is the ranking of the last 11 palettes that I've tried. Here's your job right now, okay? Go to the comments and tell me one of two things. Number one, did any of my choices surprise you? Did you think something would be rated higher or lower? But number two, what is the best palette you have tried recently? Like your favorite palette right now. Maybe it's an older palette that is just your favorite right now. Tell me your absolute favorite. Maybe it's one I don't have. Maybe I need to be influenced and I like to be influenced. Damn, that sounded dirty. I liked it. Okay, we're going to move on. But that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I know you guys love rankings, and if you do, give it a thumbs up. That always helps out my channel so much. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are all Glitter Fallout. And as always and forever, always and forever, you are super freaking rock stars. I mean it, and I love you so much with my whole heart, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.